I hate every ape I see, from chimpanzee to chimpanzee. Yes, they finally made no. No, you'll never make a monkey out of me. And then the Statue of Liberty comes up and he goes, oh my God, I was wrong. It was Earth all along. You finally made a monkey. Yes, you finally made a monkey. Yes, you finally made a monkey out of me.
Okay, I don't know what that was. I'm gonna do the actual score to the Planet of the Apes movie. Who did it? It was what's his name? Big composer.
John Williams.
No, what
Michael
the
Giacchino.
fuck? Why am I going blank on this? Oh no,
Alex
this
Mack.
is so embarrassing. We're gonna have to restart this entire episode. Jerry Goldsmith. Jerry Goldsmith. So which performance was better? Leave a comment and give us your feedback.
Okay, now my new one. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius, bum bum bum. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius, do 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 do. Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. Oh, Dr. Zaius, Dr. Zaius. Did it? Oh, fuck. What has to go?
Again, it's
can I play the piano anymore? Well, of course you can. Well, I couldn't before. You know, you're just not appreciating any of the songs.
That's not in the movie.
Yeah, but
You're thinking of Flash.
do you know what any of that's from? All of my annoying singing? Do you know?
Yeah, it's The Simpsons.
He
okay,
knows.
I
See,
wasn't
this
born
fucking guy
yesterday.
knows. He doesn't watch The Simpsons. He didn't. Maybe he didn't see that episode, but he would have loved it. But
I've seen it.
Did you love it?
I really would rather not make fun of this movie. It's not really ripe for mockery.
No.
Serious?
All right. Well,
No, that's a classic episode.
great episode. Great episode. Anyways, welcome to Movie Club. We're doing 1968's Planet of the Apes, a movie Rocco has seen countless times, and I had never seen.
You had never seen this,
not
ever.
once. And I thought maybe I'll start it and be like, oh yeah, I've seen it.
Yes.
No, never happened.
Yes.
Obviously, I know the ending. You know, like a lot.
Yeah, that is a bummer. I will say. I got to see these as a kid, no knowledge of anything, and so it was like, okay, should go without saying. Written by Rod Serling.
And I saw that in the credits. And
Yes.
went, ooh. I said that, actually.
Yes.
Ooh.
They had someone else kind of working on the script, brought him on, and of course, classic Rod Serling move is to make it Earth all along.
Yeah.
That is, I
That's
will
his
say,
bread and butter.
Rod Serling, brilliant guy, but man, he loved that particular twist.
You know what? I'm with you,
But it
Rod.
worked, I would argue, the best here. If you knew nothing, it is an impactful ending here. Some Twilight Zone episodes, it also worked. Others, it was like, I get it.
Yeah, we got it. We got it.
But his most famous use of "It Was Earth All Along" is right here, I would say, in this movie. Want to say, fun fact, just before we move on from Rod Serling.
Okay.
Fun fact is when they worked on the second Planet of the Apes, they were like, well, we got to bring Rod Serling back. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like that
ending killed.
This was famous. Like, we got to bring him back. And he wrote apparently a very bizarre script.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it had, I'm not going to get too much into the second one. The second one does involve like underground mutant people. I don't know if that was his concept, but his concept had, and they did a makeup test for a hybrid human ape child.
Oh.
And they did a makeup test on it, and his script involved someone bred a hybrid being. And the people at Fox were like, hey, Rod, we love you. We're not planting the idea that a guy fucked an ape. We got to move on. And they never used his... I don't know if that script has ever made it out. out there. I would love to read it.
Yeah.
But they gave him a shot, and the people were like, "Hey, I think we got to move on. Sorry, Rod." And Rod never worked on.
There are some things that, I think if you go into it saying this didn't work or this was a failure or we said no because it was too whatever, now I'm more interested.
Yeah.
And so if they today said we found the script, we're gonna make this movie, exactly as Rod Serling wrote it.
Yeah.
And it's a little weird. But you know what? This is how the dude wrote it. I would be so on board. And you almost forgive it. If there is a weird, ape human sex scene, you go, well, that's what he wrote.
It's like, but that's the context of it, is this wasn't supposed to be made.
You know what? There are times that we do our panels and we show a video that just didn't work.
Yeah.
And if we would just put that out there on our channel just without warning, people are like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But you go to our panel and be like, hey, this video isn't good. And we realize that, and we never released it, and we're going to show it to you anyways because it's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny that it's so bad or whatever, and then people love it.
There's deleted scenes from 2001: A Space Odyssey that have never been released, but there's shots of them online, and it's like a bunch of kids in school on a space station. They're all painting, and people were like, this looks so cool. Why don't they release it? If that had been in the movie, it would have been like, God, cut this fucking school scene. Context is everything.
Did you ever watch that? What the fuck was that movie? The documentary about the guy who worked with Kubrick's Filmmaker, I think is what it's called.
Something like that.
Did you ever watch that?
No, I never did.
Dude, Rocco.
I'm sure I would like it.
It's a documentary about this guy who he was a star in Barry Lyndon, and he was an actor, but then he became obsessed with Stanley Kubrick and was like, I will quit acting to be your assistant. And essentially Stanley Kubrick like shit all over him. And was like fucking terrible to him, but he didn't care and he just wanted to work with him.
I got it.
Thought he was a genius.
I meant to see it and I never did.
It's so interesting. It shows this footage of he's the one who cast Danny from The Shining, and it's him working with him, and you see behind the scenes footage of Danny chasing him with his tricycle through the hallways, and it's it was good. It was a good documentary. Filmmaker.
I'll watch it.
You should watch it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. I recommended it to you 10 years ago, and I don't even remember at this point if it is good, but I think it is. Anyways, we're watching this movie. Go ahead.
1968, Planet of the Apes, based on a book by Pierre Boulle.
I'm a bullhead myself.
He wrote, it was much more Animal Farm-esque, from what I understand. The book was, look, a parody. There was no sci-fi twist to it like the movie. They lived in a pretty advanced society. They had planes. They had... it was kind of a mockery of society. Look, Planet of the Apes, and Leave It to America. It lost in translation. They're like, no, this will be like a cool sci-fi twist movie. They didn't really play it as a satire like the French author did, as far as I know. Again, I didn't read the original book, but that's what I gleaned from it. And it was much cheaper to make it give them more primitive kind of homes. Give them more,
Interesting.
Instead of making it a fully populated New York City full of apes.
I wonder if that would have worked.
Yeah.
You would see that and kind of be it's you're laughing at it a little bit. Whereas this, you see it and go, okay, well, maybe.
Yeah.
Also, if it's New York City and it is not supposed to be Earth.
Yeah, no, there would be no twist.
There is no twist.
But the book didn't have that, so it makes sense for the book.
True.
The book, it was just aha, of course, the Planet of the Apes, it's this is what life is like now.
So in the book, it wasn't Earth, is what you're telling me, or it was?
In the book, I'll find out. I'm not sure.
Because if that's the case, and you read the book and then watched the movie, that is a huge twist.
Yeah.
They changed the whole fucking thing.
The book is 3 explorers from Earth go to another star. It's not Earth all along. They go to a planet orbiting Betelgeuse. And it's the whole thing is a satire. Humans are the stupid ones, and apes have actually have surpassed us. It's not an Earth all along thing. It's just they travel to another planet, and it's the apes are running the show, and the place is better. Kind of thing. So there you go.
Interesting. Well, let me just say before we can go through the plot.
Yeah.
And all that.
Yeah.
I never really cared about these movies.
Yeah.
Never really, I saw the new one. I don't know why I saw it. Maybe did I go with you?
Yeah, we went.
Maybe I was like, I'll go with you, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember like, that was good. Like I liked it. It was
That
fine.
was fine.
It was fine.
Yeah, there were plenty of things I could go like, that was dumb. But it came together competent.
Yeah. And I don't honestly remember that much about it, but I remember being at the end like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the other ones I haven't seen.
Yeah.
And there's a lot. There's a lot of these fucking movies.
This original series, there's 5.
Okay.
And then they came back for, there's a shitty Tim Burton remake. Sorry, I'm calling it what it is. Did anyone like that? I don't think so.
When did that one come out? 90s?
2001.
Maybe I saw that one too.
I thought you did. I thought you had told me that.
I think I did.
So there's that one. And then the new reboot series, it was a trilogy. I'll just give from my perspective, and everyone's got their own take on it, but I have always enjoyed the original Planet of the Apes series because this is just my sensibility. It speaks to my I have always loved sci-fi. To me, it was Rod Serling-esque sci-fi. I mean, he worked on the fucking thing.
Yeah.
So it tapped into Twilight Zone, time shit. What is this planet? Oh, twist ending. It hit all the notes for me growing up as a young person. It was just like, oh my God, that was so brilliant to me. And I will say this speaks as well to my sensibilities in humor. This to me is I'm only speaking for my taste, is the blueprint for what I'm looking for in a lot of things as the perfect level of really actually good sci-fi, really kind of stupid premise, kind of ridiculous, but in the world of this movie, it's serious. You know what I mean? I mean, they're fucking people in ape makeup, and they walk by a religious group in the chamber, and on the third day, the lawgiver said, I never met an ape I didn't like. And they're saying that seriously, but it's like, this is fucking dumb.
Right.
That level is, this movie strikes it perfect. For me, that's what I'm looking for. When it's like, the dumbest thing and it's camp, but it's taken seriously. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I think this just defined what I was looking for kind of when I was younger. It hit that category. Before I watched it, I was in the same boat. I was like, this kind of just looks ugly. What is this?
It does like the posters, they look stupid.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
the makeup, when you see it in action and it's the 60s, you're like, okay, you forgive it.
It's impressive.
It's pretty good.
It's kind of amazing. Yeah, that it still holds up. Like I'm looking at this, just like, yeah, I mean, that's a
the
talking humanoid ape.
Are the one part where it's like, okay,
yeah.
But for the most part, I forgive you.
But where I think it counterbalances that is the emoting. They emote, and it's there. It's not just lost in this. I'm an ape. I'm a rubber ape face. They emote, and it's just like when Zira is like happy about something. You get it.
You get it.
That's where they nailed it. You could pick apart the little details, but they get it in where it counts, I think.
Now, I also will say that I don't think I've ever seen a movie with Charlton Heston before.
Oh, no kidding.
I can't think of a movie of his that I had seen.
Yeah.
Because everything else is like super long, right? Like Ben-Hur.
He was in those movies. Omega Man, about the world ending. Soylent Green.
Never saw that.
Yeah. I mean, he would pick the epics.
And I almost feel like there's the movie we covered last week, Windy City Heat. There is such a Charlton Heston like lookalike is there.
Yeah,
he's like a crazy old man.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I can't not see that.
Oh, yeah.
And he's in this movie, and I am like, you're crazy.
Yeah.
And like, and I was reading more about Charlton Heston just as a person because he was super into like liberal candidates and was like super activist. And like, I think please forgive me if I got this wrong, but I think he did like the walk in Selma with Martin Luther King Jr. Like, I think.
I think so.
You double check that, but I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and then he just goes super other way, and is like NRA poster child. And all this stuff.
He was like, "Do not separate me from guns."
Yes. And then like he got super into like Reagan and Bushes and all that, you know.
But I would say that speaks more to, and more people are smarter than me about this stuff. That speaks more to. It didn't used to be so. You are this team or that team.
Correct.
You know, he was. I mean, he did. Now Charlton Heston never did sequels. He was like, no, I do a thing and I move on. So when they wanted to, I keep talking about the second Planet of the Apes.
Yeah.
They were like, you have to come back for this. And he was like, no, I don't. They worked something out. They were like, please, oh my God, like, you know, whatever. And they worked it out. He's like, hey, I'm not going to be the main guy in the sequel, but I'll appear in it. If you can get me in and out in like a week, I'll do it.
Interesting.
And what was his fee? Donate the SAG minimum to a school. You know, he was a really good dude when it came to doing things for community and progressive stuff, but his guns don't get in the way of his guns.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I feel like today it's like you are team this, team that, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it maybe wasn't kind of like that as much. Or maybe, you know, and he did change more as he got older.
And that happens.
I wasn't aware of any of this. He's always been one of my favorite older actors because to me, he always symbolized, and you kind of said it, but he always symbolized the manly 60s guy going crazy. Mm-hmm. And he does it in this movie. The guy's planting the little American flag.
Yeah.
He's the manly dude that's about to crack.
Yeah.
And I've always enjoyed that. Omega Man, he's the last man left on Earth.
Yeah.
You know, and he's starting to lose his mind. And I always got a kick out of that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I may have more. I just see him as a crazy old. I see the parody of him.
Yeah, he was parodied a lot because he was so
crazy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, understandably, but
Yeah.
but I just, you know, somewhere out there has to be something better than man. Has to be. Will Smith looked to Charlton Heston as his like guide map working in Hollywood. He said, I looked at who were the biggest stars of all time. And he said, and he's like, I looked previous decades. And he's like, and I noticed Charlton Heston never didn't do a certain time. Like, it was like Charlton Heston did it all. Mm-hmm. I'm going to do the biblical epic. I'm going to do the sci-fi epic. I'm going to do that, whatever. And Will Smith specifically brought him up as like, hey, I looked to him as the template. Oh, he's doing that now. He did that now. He did that now. Well, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do the boxing biopic, and then I'm going to do the sci-fi thing, and I'm going to do that. So I always thought that was interesting, but that was his reason for like, I never turned down the huge sci-fi movie because that would be like
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that makes sense to me. Also, Will Smith is, I'm going to say, a little crazy now. So maybe this.
Yeah, maybe that's what that route takes you there.
He's still going that way. He's committing.
Yeah.
Don't try to take away Will Smith's guns.
Yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say.
The NRA thing is unfortunate.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
It's unfortunate. You know, he helped.
He was like they were doing those events like right after the shooting would happen in the place or whatever.
And that's why I honestly see him go, ugh.
Yeah.
But I read in his early days he was passing gun legislation.
Yeah.
He was helping like. Oh yeah, we gotta have more protection like against guns.
I think he was. They did a lot of pretty awful shit with him at the helm towards the end, and I think they were kind of using him. I don't think he was at his sharpest in his later years.
Agree.
Everything I read from earlier, it seemed like he did some.
I think he
stuff,
also had Alzheimer's at the end too. So
yeah.
maybe
who knows?
Who
knows?
Not me. That's for sure. Okay, let's get into the plot now. When this movie first opens up, I'm in. Like, it's a 60s sci-fi shit.
Yes.
And the look of it is like, oh, you already got me.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for that.
Yes.
So I was in. And I didn't know. I thought he was going to be the only one to survive.
Yeah.
Like, right off the bat.
Yeah.
Did not know that they were gonna. I thought like, oh, they just have like people laying there and you'll never see them again. And you do. That was a nice
Boy, they
surprise.
eliminated the woman from this cast
Yeah,
pretty
they
fast.
really did.
10 seconds. It was, her cryotube cracked.
And that makeup on it looks fucked.
As a kid, scared the shit out of me, that scene. So we'll just set it up. They're flying in space. All of them have gone into cryo sleep. Classic sci-fi trope. We're going to make you sleep for however many years.
Yeah.
Was it just supposed to be like 30 or
I
something?
thought it was supposed to be 700.
Oh,
but
was
ended
it?
up being like
2000.
Yeah, 2000.
Yeah. So they're asleep. Was it Taylor character? Charlton Heston's character is doing a little audio log. So I guess someone in a video game can find it later. He's doing an audio log like, we're about to go for our long sleep. Sean and I did this monologue in our theater class.
Did you really?
Yes. I wonder what else is out there. I feel lonely. I did because I just I've always loved this actor. I've always loved the way he does his shit. So I tried to do it and I failed. But anyway, but he's talking about it, and they're all in cryo sleep. Two other men and a woman there, and the ship. Taylor goes to sleep. The ship crashes. Something happened out there. The ship crashes on some planet. They land in the water, and as soon they're all evacuated. Okay, wake up the two dudes. They all wake up. Let's go. Oh, her thing cracked. So like within the first 4 minutes of the movie, the woman is eliminated.
You never even
She's
saw
dried
her.
up.
Do you ever see her not?
For a second, you see her laying in the thing.
Before he gets in.
Yeah. But then when they go over to it, it's like she's aged 1,000 years. She looks like the psycho mom. Yeah. So anyway, so that's that. They evacuate the ship. Mm-hmm. They go out. They're like, what planet are we on? I don't know. Did you see the clock before we got out of the ship? What? And it was like 29:30 something.
I think it's more than that. I think it's like 37, 38.
Oh, okay.
It's far.
It's
fucked.
Yeah, 39. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. 39.
Yeah.
Something.
It's funny because you look at it and like clearly I look at this and go, oh yeah, this is Arizona, Grand Canyon area, New Mexico maybe. You can just tell. But that people probably didn't realize that right off the bat. I mean, it looks like an alien planet. You know,
it's a good location.
If I didn't know it so well as that. I don't know what it is. I have this thing of I used to play games like this when I was a kid too. Of you have a certain amount of time to get what you need to survive. Yeah, that was a game I used to play as a kid all the time. Like in my room, like Luke. There's lava coming, and we have to, get all the food we can before the lava comes, and our room is going to be safe. And I remember just going to our pantry and trying to sneak past my parents, getting like the bagels and putting them and we would just take all of the food and put it in my bedroom. My parents fucking hated this game. But this reminded me of that, like the ship sinking. It's like, you got to grab your shit and go. Yeah. But like, save all you can because we're not getting this back. It just brought that memory back to me. That's all. Yeah. That's all.
Well... So yeah, there's a little bit of urgency here. Just like, okay, we're on this planet. We don't know what we're gonna need. We don't, we got to get our shit together. And I'll say too, bringing up another childhood thing, seeing this as a kid, the concept was very heavy. Where he's kind of telling them like, who are you gonna share your accolades with? Everyone you've ever known or cared about, they're all long gone. Like as a kid, this was like, I can't even imagine being out somewhere so long that everything else goes away.
You know what?
That was, a huge concept.
There's a part where that guy's like, get off my back, man. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Taylor's
fucking
like,
stop.
Yeah, Taylor is like, but I do think he's way too much in this part where he's just like, he's fucking clowning
seems to
on him.
love the idea that like everyone he knows is dead. And
it's
like, yo, what is wrong
he's
with
getting off on that idea because, and I think the reason, and I think it's not a bad one, is get as much cockiness of the human race up front. It's like, I'm the brave explorer guy, and I'm gonna do this. Oh, some people died. Well, so be it. Do all that because some fucking apes are about to humble this asshole. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like this guy. You don't mean shit in a minute. In a minute, they're gonna be hitting you with a hose. Yeah. So I think they kind of get all that up front, I know this and I know that.
Because if I really had to choose the person to survive of the three, I would pick him last. Like he was kind of like the villain in this, where it's like, yeah, shut up, dude.
Yeah,
like, yeah, you're fucking.
And they call him on it. Yeah,
they do. They do.
So they get their stuff together, and they go like, we got to explore this land. And this is, I'll give a big compliment to the movie here. I think you'll agree with this. Tell me if you don't. I'm curious.
Okay.
Just like I'll rank another one of my favorite movies ever, Willy Wonka. I'll rank that too in the same category. I love, and that's within about 3 years of this movie. So maybe they were inspired by each other. When you got the title thing, the reason you're here to see the movie, and you don't give it for about 45 minutes to an hour. You know, Willy Wonka, you're going like, they go to the chocolate factory in this movie? It's not till halfway through. True. It was so creepy to me how much they spend just exploring the land before you ever see the apes. Yeah. You know what I mean?
That is a good point. And I did admire that because, you don't see them for a while. Yeah. You know they're on the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah,
the title.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would have called it something else. The Starman. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, would audience reject seeing the apes for the first time?
Yeah, what would people react to?
If they didn't call it Planet of the Apes, would you look at that and be like, fuck this, I'm not watching? Like, but if you go into a movie called Planet of the Apes, then you're like, all right, let's see it, you know?
Yeah.
I do wonder.
I wonder how that would have gone.
Because I feel like people would have turned on this movie.
Yeah, maybe.
It wouldn't have accepted it if they called it anything else but Planet of the Apes.
There's another movie I won't name because for this specific effect that suddenly debuted horse people halfway through it. And I could feel people go, all right, and go home when I saw it in the theater. What was the movie? I'm not going to say.
What was the? Oh, well.
That's that.
Hidalgo.
Dude, you spoiled it. When Ving, I was going to call Viggo Mortensen Ving Rhames. That's not who it is. When he turns into a horse. Never mind. So very creepy it was to me. Again, another thing watching this as a kid was like, again, like, are there apes in this movie? What's going on? They're exploring around. They see those fucking weird furry like X things. Creepy image.
You know what? And then I thought they used this in Game of Thrones, like the X like rack thing.
Yeah.
And that's in that show, it was like people being hung upside down.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. Very scary. And this, I kind of felt like, maybe Game of Thrones stole this.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it is like fucking terrifying.
It's like they put furs up on crosses or however you want to say it, but it almost looks like maybe they were trying to scare away predator. Like, hey,
like a scarecrow, as they say.
Yeah, like a scarecrow kind of thing. Want to say, side note, when Mondo did the vinyl soundtrack to this movie, they made that the cover. No text. No text. And I was like, 10 out of 10 cover.
That's scary.
No notes on that.
Yeah.
So I thought that was cool.
That's cool.
It was like a painting of them.
That's sick.
Anyway, but that was very creepy seeing that. Then they eventually make their way to like, I think there's like a field, right? No. They start to, don't they go for they find water.
They find, first off, they find life, and they say when there's one, there will be another, and then another. So they know that they can probably survive on this fucking place. Yeah, then they find water. Then we got some bunner shots, and I was not ready for butts.
And let me just tell you, too, just to give some context for the release of this, G-rated movie. And in fact, they fought to keep each one G-rated because they were like, look, families aren't going to bring kids if it's PG. It's so funny how ratings used to be different like that. So different. There is some brutal shit in the second one, and it's like G is like a joke. Like, this is ridiculous. And then third had that too. And people were like, why are these getting G ratings? And the fourth one, they were like, yeah, we're done. We're giving it a PG. And it was like, oh, and it hurt the box office. It was just like, yeah. Back then it was like, wait, parental guidance?
I mean, we got butts in a G-rated movie.
Yeah.
That is wild.
We got G-rated ass in this one.
I mean, I was watching it in the living room, and Emma and Beckett were on their phones. Emma goes, what is happening? I'm like, I don't know. We got some butts.
Yeah. So
I didn't think we'd see Heston's ass. I didn't think we'd see that.
They go skinny dipping, which, this is a new planet. I probably would be careful with that water. I'd probably be like, yeah, let's scope this out
or
first.
Or at least wear some undies, you know? You got to wear something.
So they do that. They get their clothes stolen. Like, what?
And I thought, oh, the apes stole their clothes.
Yeah.
The apes took it.
Yeah. No.
I was incorrect.
Guess what? There's other humans.
It was a human
but they're
who did
real
it.
dumb.
They're like real dumb. But at first, you don't know that they're real dumb.
Yeah.
You know, this is a weird standoff, and then they start running around. There's no one talking, so you think,
Yeah.
well, okay, this is weird. It's a weird tribe of humans. I don't know what's going on.
So don't they go to the? I'm trying to remember what order, but they follow them. They try to get their clothes back. They
find some fruit.
Yes.
They're eating the fruit with the people. Then all of a sudden, the apes show up, and the humans
Yes.
scatter, so they start running.
They start running through the field and stuff.
Yeah, and they're kind of putting some clothes on. Thank God. I don't see any dongs in Planet of the Apes.
This ain't Planet of the Dongs. I ain't
Not
playing
Planet
that
of the
game.
Penises.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much. So, yeah, they're going through, and then they fucking, they start killing the main characters. So I thought.
Yeah. They got the other two guys, right?
They get them.
So they got the other two dudes, and then Taylor. We're following Taylor. Taylor gets kidnapped. Now, is this where he got kind of...
Yeah, he gets
injured.
in the neck.
Yeah.
He can't talk, which is going to be unfortunate in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a bummer.
He wants to speak. He can't.
Which is such a trope that would work in 1968 and it would not work today. And even if maybe you could do it where it's like, oh, he can't talk, but it's so frustrating watching it. It's like, oh my God, they think that you're they don't know you're smart.
Yeah.
Taylor, but you're so smart.
Yeah.
Also, interesting. So they put him in the cage, and then she calls him Bright Eyes, and then I think, oh, is that why there's a band called Bright Eyes?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's why the band Bright Eyes that I used to love way back in my emo days is called that, or if it's just a coincidence. I don't fucking know.
I mean, when you told me, when I first heard of the band, I was thinking of what,
well, of course you did. I had no idea, but that's the first thing I would think of as well. Yeah. Is Connor Oberst a huge Planet of the Apes fan? I don't know. Maybe. Anyways.
He gets a bullet to the neck. That's what it was, right? Okay. Yeah. So they bring him back to treat him. Right?
And they want to get Dr. Zaius. And I've heard the name Dr. Zaius because of The Simpsons, just because of whatever. And I thought, oh, good. Dr. Zaius is here. He's going to save the day.
Yeah.
He's going to be the one to be like, oh, we got to whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to be an asshole.
No, he is.
I didn't expect that.
He's a traditional kind of ape doctor. It's Dr. Zira who is like, I want to do some experiments on this human. So keep him alive. Don't fuck with him. She gives him the nickname Bright Eyes. They're trying to communicate.
But he can't fucking talk.
Yeah.
Ugh.
But she's noticing there's some intelligence.
Honestly, Charlton Heston, if they're trying to see if you're smart enough to talk and you physically can't talk, you could at least do more than what you did. He's just like, oh,
yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, if you can't talk, be like, no, I gotcha. I fucking, I'm so frustrated. I just wanted to know he was smart right off the bat, and they didn't.
So they have they have them out at one point, right? If I'm skipping anything,
the outdoor cage.
They have him in the outdoor cage, and then he tries to write a thing in the sand, right?
And then they get into a fight within a human.
And then these other humans that are fucking stupid lethargic cavemen people are like, and they get into a fight. They don't, notice the thing. They walk, the other apes are like, we're leaving, whatever. Dr. Zaius kind of notices.
Yeah, and that's
maybe something written in the ground.
That's when I realized, oh, you're no good. Because he wrote things on the ground and he covered up with his little monkey foot.
Yeah, he kind of stamps it out.
Oh, brutal. How convenient they speak English, though, Because if they spoke Japanese, he'd be like,
that'd be funny.
I don't know.
You know what would happen? Dr. Zaius would be like, "Non desu ka?"
He just wanted to show off his Japanese skills. I should have said,
yeah, I know. That's how much I know.
And then I could have shown off some of my French.
Oh,
he got that too.
Muzzy.
He loves Muzzy. Fuck.
So
Planet of the Muzzies. Go ahead.
Taylor's removed by the gorilla guards. They put him in an isolated cage. Zira gets close to the cage at one point, and he grabs her notebook.
Well, he grabs her like, he's gonna fucking
oh
kill her.
shit! But no, he just grabs her notebook and pencil.
Just to write what? My name is Taylor.
And she's like, holy shit, and starts to talk to him like, okay, what about this? What about that? And he's writing responses. Mm-hmm. They smuggle him out. And they take him home, right? They take him home, like Zira takes, Well, yeah. Oh, fuck. To tell Cornelius, like, yo, Cornelius, I brought why did you bring a human to a home?
Right.
And
then,
kind of thing.
Is this when? No. When does he talk for the first time? Is it before?
It hasn't happened yet.
It hasn't happened yet.
Nope. So they bring him home, and he's writing stuff. And they're like, well, how did you get here? And, he makes a paper airplane.
And throws it. And they can't believe the shit he just pulled off.
Yeah. They're like, what did that just do? Oh, fly? In their mind, flying has never existed. Again, if you've read the book, it's hilarious because they have planes in the original book, but flight is a foreign concept to them in this movie.
Yeah.
But anyway, again, once again, what's his face? Dr. Zaius shows up. Like, what are you guys working on?
Why is this human?
Why is a human in your home? And again, same kind of beats as that cage part. He sees like, what's this? Oh, I was just playing around,
It's a toy.
And
then what does he do? Crumbles it up.
Yeah, he keeps kind of hiding any trace of human knowing shit,
Fucking guy, dude.
So they bring Taylor back to the compound. He starts to hear like they're gonna like castrate him or something.
Well, here's the thing: is they give him like a wife. Essentially, Nova, right? Nova, the girl's name.
Nova is the girl. Yeah.
Who I don't know who this woman is, but she is beautiful. Wow.
Yes. Kim. Is it Kim Novak? Kim.
Let me find. I have my little. Linda Harrison.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who's Kim? Oh, Kim. I think
Kim Hunter is Dr.
Kim Hunter
Zira.
is Dr. Zira. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
Kim Novak.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. No, she is I'll just say babe.
Wow. I mean, like, you're on an alien planet. You could do worse.
Yes.
Taylor. Yeah. You could do worse. She's,
one of my favorite lines, too, is like, do you know love? Can you love? Anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, so they're about to do some bad shit.
Yeah, they don't know what. Is it going to kill him? Are they going to lobotomize him? Are they going to castrate him, as you said? We don't know.
Yeah.
We'll never know. Ask Rod Serling.
Yeah. So they're gonna do that. But
he escapes.
Yeah, he escapes. The gorilla guards are preparing and stuff. He escapes, and then he runs through like is this where you see the church event? Like he's running through like kind of a church building. There's a building where there's lots of stuff on display.
There's a funeral.
They're doing that. Again, I love all the lawgiver, like their religion is like this lawgiver ape and stuff, and I love what they're saying. Like on the third day, he said, "I never met an ape I didn't like." Whatever the line is, cracks me up.
Yeah.
But when he's running through, they've got like almost like scientific displays, almost like museum exhibit kind of whatever
of humans,
and he sees one of his homies.
Yeah, what was the guy's name?
Dodge.
Yeah, Jeff Burton as Dodge. Yes. That was scary.
Right? He is taxidermied.
He's stuffed.
Yeah. That was another thing when I saw it when I was younger. I was like, that was like terrifying.
In his eyes, there's no pupils. Oh.
Yes.
Yikes.
So they're chasing him through this. They're chasing Taylor through all these exhibits. He runs outside. They try to capture him. They grab him. They get him in a net. He gets whatever. They're hanging him in the thing. And then we get one of the top famous lines in movie history. Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty apes. Oh, if you're going to deliver your first line in front of talking apes,
that's the one.
You can't do worse than that. You can't do better than that.
That's the one. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That definitely is,
Yeah.
the line.
Yes.
And I had heard that 10 billion times as well. So that wasn't a surprise to me. I didn't know when he was going to say it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that was the first thing they heard him say.
Yeah.
That was good.
It hits.
It hits. It hits. It hits.
I will say that line, very famous line. I'm going to, again, jump around a little bit. In the lore of Planet of the Apes, I don't think they talk about it in this one, but I think maybe they do the second one. They talk about how did the Planet of the Apes, like what was the beginning of it?
Mm-hmm.
And it is known in the lore that humans were always nasty to their pets. And someone had a pet chimp or in captivity or something. I don't even know if they specify that it was an ape or a chimp or I don't know, but it was someone was they said the legend, like their lore in their universe is at what man was bad to its pet. And there was one day where a pet spoke a word and it was no. Yeah. And that was like, that was the beginning of when humanity lost its whatever.
And they used that in the new one, right?
So that new one that we saw, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, yeah.
Was, I didn't know how much they were going to adhere to the whatever. That was magnificent. When he
said no.
When he goes, no! Like that. That theater went, you could feel everyone like pucker their asshole. It was just, that hit. But I got to say, they taint that moment because right before that, the Tom Hilton or whatever, who was
James Franco?
No. Draco Malfoy is like in that movie.
Tom.
He's like that. He's like the guy who is feeding the apes and fucking with them. Right before that, he the Caesar the ape is like doing something to him. And he's like, "Get your paws off me, you damn dirty ape!" And he just quotes this old movie, and I'm like, man, if you didn't have him say that, that's perfect scene.
Yeah.
And so that's why I'm bringing it up now, is I feel like they feel the need to keep quoting that in the series, and it's like, yeah, we're good.
That wasn't. I mean, yeah.
But the no was well done in that.
I remember that. I do remember the no.
Yeah, that one hit.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so now, Rocco, and this is where I don't want to upset anyone here. From this point on, the movie goes downhill to me. To me.
Really?
Yeah. And it got boring. And I was so into it.
Yeah.
Up until this point. And I was, the whole way through, the 45 minutes of nothing. Yeah. Then we start I think it was the fact that they just didn't care that he was speaking, or they have the trial.
Well, they already knew. I just think by that point they already knew.
Yeah,
it's like he was writing the things down, and they knew it was like, oh, he got hit with the thing. So it wasn't like a huge revelation. I mean, it was shocking. They are shocked when he first says it.
Yeah,
but they already kind of those who are in the know knew.
I just kind of wanted more of a deal about it. Sure. I just want, that's kind of where I thought I was going, and maybe that's my problem. But then, he's on trial, and then once the trial starts, I fell asleep. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I woke up, and I went back to where I was with him saying the damn dirty ape thing, watched it again, fell asleep again.
Oh,
and then, not this time. I went back again and watched it and did not fall asleep. But it took, because the trial was like, oh, okay. Now I'm talking about we get into the philosophy of stuff.
Yeah. But I will, I mean, again, this is not like this is no new brilliant concept here now. But I'm talking for 1968.
Yeah.
I thought I like the, I'm not going to say it's the most exciting scene. I don't fault you for all right. But I appreciate they kind of, it was a movie. It's kind of reflecting the stupid things that we put people into here as people. There, it kind of puts a mirror to our own beliefs to kind of show, all right, come on, the shit that they're putting them through. And this is the important thing is, and I'm going to bring this up again, where you're winning me over. This is the part. It's not the most exciting scene. I'm with you, but where it wins me over is we got the most serious scene. They're getting into it, and what happens? They start arguing. Everyone's yelling, and what do the three ape judges do? One of them plugs his ears, the other one holds their eyes, and the other one does that. And it is like, here's a serious scene, and they're doing the stupid gag.
Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
Yeah, the dumbest fucking gag in the middle of a serious scene.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And
I love that shit.
It was one of the things, where like Dr. Zayas is like, oh, well, if you're so smart, then tell me the second commandment of our ways. It's like, okay.
Yeah. But
I know that you want him to fail.
But it was a little bit, it's just interesting though, because what's his name? Fucking Taylor, Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
Charlton Heston was known for doing the biblical epic. He was the man from God, man of God.
Yeah.
And then he did this movie that kind of is like shoes on the other foot, and you're kind of like, yo, they're hitting us with all this dogma from their ape book, and how like fucking useless is this? Kind of turns it on its head a little bit, where it's like, well, now it's someone else's Bible, and we're kind of laughing at it. Well, I mean, that's every bit as important to these apes as it is yours to you.
No, I get it.
So I appreciate for a 60s movie to kind of be able to do that. But again, I'm not making the argument that it's an exciting scene.
No, and I think. And I think my problem with it is that like I feel like it could have gone to so many other places that were interesting, and they wanted to have a message, which is fine, especially for the time. I know Vietnam was probably happening or something. So like I get a lot of this stuff has messages in it, and that's why I love sci-fi, honestly, because a lot of times like Star Trek, they're full of messages.
Yeah, and also I just want to say to your point, definitely Vietnam on the looming kind of thing. And this movie is teeming with that energy. And I would say even there is a sort of nature of this movie. It's all, to me, this movie is all like, let's question our authority. Yeah. Let's question whatever in a way that I don't think you saw there were a lot of 60s movies afraid to do that. But because this one is about apes, they could get away with it. They could be like, make their religious stuff kind of sound funny. Maybe, he even at one point says to one of the younger apes, one of the younger apes at the end of the movie, I know we're jumping around, is like, I just don't trust the older generation. There you go. Yeah. Don't trust anyone over 30. Right. I mean, that is so out of the 60s, but anyway.
No, I'm just saying like, because I feel like, what really happens after the trial? Like, where does it go? And it's just like, him seeing his friend who's been lobotomized. Yeah. And he's upset. Okay, sure. I get that he's upset. And then it makes me wonder, I want to know more about that though, where it's like, did they know his friend was also smart and they did that on purpose? Yeah. Is that what they're going to do to him? Yeah. There's things I wanted to know. I think I just wanted more of like, either he starts working with them and becomes something, or it just kind of felt like there was no resolution.
Dr. Zayas does say that he knew Landon could talk, one of the other guys, and had him lobotomized.
There you go.
So he does kind of go into like, okay, I'm aware.
Okay.
Zayas basically, so after this, there's this trial. Taylor has a talk with Zayas and is basically kind of like, I know what humans are capable of, and it's a fucking plague. Basically is the gist of it, and you're not gonna do any good. And he's trying to get Taylor to kind of admit, like, that's what you're part of. That's what you're part of, and you're part of another tribe that's really bad on this planet. And Taylor's like, no, I flew here from another planet. I promise.
Right. He doesn't believe him, and he can't show him a ship too, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, and so. So Taylor's not budging on that. So Zayas is like, all right, send him back to the compound. Like, he's not going to help, so whatever.
Right.
I was going to move on with the plot unless there's anything else you were going to say about that.
No.
So Zira's like nephew, again, the younger kid, whatever. And I believe he helps him escape, right?
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember this part.
Yeah, well, honestly, me too, because I kept falling asleep. But no, like they go to the why do they go to the caves? What was the purpose of that? Because show like the what he's been digging is like the evidence of like
Yeah,
humans
I think
before. Or
yeah,
something.
I think Cornelius was talking about that. Like he's like I have a theory basically, and if you can prove it, Zeus will let you off on your charges.
And that's what it is. And so
Yes.
then they go prove.
They go to the caves, and they just want to prove it's like at one point humanity maybe was more advanced,
Right.
and they go to those caves,
Find the doll that talks.
yeah, and which is another creepy scene.
It is creepy.
They find this
Yeah.
children's doll, whatever, starts to say stuff, and yeah, and basically Taylor is like, we're this is proof we were here before you, and all that stuff. And Zeus is kind of like, okay, what's the significance of that? He kind of denies it.
Yeah.
He refuses to believe the evidence. But then when it speaks, it's kind of like, okay, well, what else can I say about that?
Right.
But they want to bring him. They want Taylor to. Yeah, the whole gist of this is they want Taylor to go to the cave to prove that like, that there like humanity was an intelligent thing. That was a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and again, this is why to me it's like boring. I guess like this
It
part
kind
was
of
boring.
once Taylor can talk, it is kind of like shuffle him to the revelation.
And it's just a lot, and it's just so much talking, and it's like this is your third act. It's him in a trial, then it's him like proving things about humanity that I already know, and so it's just like I was so in on the first 2 acts. I was so like this is great. I'm really loving this. And then I was like, oh no. And like I felt like there was like the brakes just put on. Yeah. Personally, in the movie.
I will stick up for it a little bit. I do feel like looking at this from like a sci-fi, for a movie that is sci-fi and does have action, it kind of abandons that in this last part. Yeah. But I just feel like it's more about the concepts. And I think that idea was big enough at the time that it was kind of like, we won't get him with the actual stunt. We'll get him with the kind of the stunt, the idea, like the kind of like, I don't know. I think the concept was like, I think they were in love with the concept enough that it was like, no, they can, let's just like talk through this.
Yeah.
It's definitely not paced in the way that they would pace anything today.
No,
for sure.
No. And I mean, at the end, essentially, this is the end, and then Dr. Zeus is like, "We're gonna blow up the cave. You guys are gonna go to jail." To the other Cornelius and Zeus, and we'll let this guy go because he has a gun on me, and we'll give him his wife, Nova.
Yeah,
and that's essentially like, okay, the end, and then it's just Charlton Heston chilling on the beach until he finds the famous scene of the Statue of Liberty.
Yes. And he realizes, oh shit, I'm not on some other planet. Here he has been trying to prove that like humans are intelligent. They're a thing. You can't hide it forever. Right. Again, I like the story where it's kind of like you can again, there's a little bit of symbolism there with the 60s and all that. You can continue to be the conservative asshole here and pretend that there isn't something else in your society.
Yeah.
Humans deserve rights too. All these things, but then he realizes, oh no, I see why Zeus was covering this all up. Humanity destroyed their own planet. We did it.
Yeah,
we blew it up.
You blew it up,
you bastards.
Yeah. So
damn you all to hell. Oh, he delivers that. You got to admit, he delivers that last line.
He does. Amazing. And I would say too that like, I hate to nitpick dumb things like this, but I'm looking at the Statue of Liberty going like, this isn't anywhere near New York. But I know that's not the point.
Yeah.
I know it's not the point, but I'm just like...
it's been thousands of years. I mean, fucking continents could have shifted.
I guess that could be the Vegas one. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be funny if in canon they explain that in one of the later ones?
It's from New York.
That would make a little more sense.
It would, because that's where they were filming this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And then maybe with global warming,
yeah,
the tide the sea level's raised. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say
there
that.
could be a future Apes
I'm
movie where they
saying
canonize that.
that's the Vegas one, and the size of it makes more sense.
Yeah, but you got to hand it to them. If you didn't know, it's a pretty good ending.
Great ending.
That's a
If
pretty
you don't know,
iconic ending.
that rules.
But it is kind of. But I like the way it goes. But I do see the other side of it, that it's kind of like, what am I trying to say? You're waiting for like the next big event.
I'm waiting for the climax,
and they kind of get to that, and it ends. Yeah.
And even like with the whole people who you kind of learn you care about Dr. Zira and Cornelius.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, wow, you're fucked. And it's like, that's okay.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay. Like, it's a weird.
I think these concepts were so big. Again, I think that's what took center stage. You have to also consider this. 1968 was also 2001: A Space Odyssey, which kind of was the first serious sci-fi movie, which sounds like, wait, what? How?
Yeah.
But sci-fi prior to that point was, the saucer men are coming from Mars. We're going to pew, pew, pew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was kind of like considered goofy. And then 2001, it was like, no, this is, oh my God, this is like just what would really happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that this was a year where people had never, sci-fi had never been like fucking cool.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were bringing up these concepts of, oh my God, it was Earth. Oh my God, like, what humanity did to their own planet as a serious concept had never been explored. So I think that for them, that was entertaining enough, that was engaging enough, that you were willing to kind of like break on the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's hard to watch that now, maybe in the same.
Yeah, and I think
kinda.
that's what it is. Like, I just feel like, the last act to me just like killed.
You're kind of waiting for the.
It literally put me to sleep 2 times. But I know there's points they're trying to make.
Yeah.
And I do think that the ending, the last shot is, one of the greatest shots in movie. It's a great twist. It's awesome,
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just, whew. I mean, like, honestly, if you told me to watch it again, I'd be excited. And once they started talking, I'm like, oh no, we're here.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Yeah. I like that stuff, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, do you want to do our shakers? Are we ready for that? That's
Yeah.
what you want to say. Oh, I read that they were going to make Nova pregnant. Did you see that?
I thought I saw something about that.
The Nova was going to be, that was like a plot point. I guess they filmed some of it with her like being pregnant.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then the Fox studio, or is it Fox? The
Fox.
studio, studio exec was like, you're making it so she's like essentially like simpleton, or like, she's not speaking. And so if Charlton Heston impregnated her, that's some kind of sodomy here. Like, it's a weird look. If like he's impregnating.
Yeah,
this
like just don't get into that.
Like we don't need that.
Yeah.
Like they don't even do they even kiss? I don't think that he kisses Dr. Zira, but I don't think he kisses her.
Yeah.
Because that would be weird.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, what? But I also like him taking her. It's like, does he care for her in like a romantic kind of way, or is it just? I don't know what it is. But it's better not knowing, I think, than having her be pregnant. It's like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Then Taylor's a real villain.
Yeah. I think that. I think they eliminated that, and like I said, the plan was to have a human ape hybrid in the second one, and that was another thing. It was just like, let's not put these ideas.
Yeah,
let's just not.
We don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to do shakers?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead. You can go first.
I kind of said most of it, but this just captures. I am so in love with like 60s sci-fi. I mean, again, the same year you got 2001. For fuck's sake, this in 2001 dropping within 6 months defined sci-fi and defined my interest in it. Mm-hmm. This hits this has all the like goofy ass late 60s humor in it that I love. Mm-hmm. The corny humor, but again, that perfect mix of camp and serious. The mixture is perfect here. Is every act exciting? No. They could have done this better. They could have done that better. There's a lot of things that could be done better. But for me, this like defined my fucking interests. So I'm going to give my first 8 out of 5.
You can't do that.
5 out of 5.
Okay, 5 out. You can do that.
It's just, it hits the notes for me. You know what I mean? That last Daft Punk album that came out, some people loved it, some people didn't like it. Okay, yeah, it's a French duo doing fucking dance music. So yeah, that's not going to work for everybody. I listened to it and I'm like, yep, sad robot musical track, disco track, fucking electronic Julian Casablancas track.
Oh, I love that
like,
song.
yeah, this is it hits every note that I was looking for in an album.
Yeah.
You know, that's this movie for me. I'm not going to die on it like everyone should agree. But for me,
sure.
It's
Yeah. I knew walking in, you didn't tell me, but I knew this would be a 5 for you. Yeah, I just know this movie means a lot to you, and that's totally respect that. For me, seeing it for the first time, I was a 5 for that first half. I was really liking it. And then as time went on, I lost steam. So for me, this is what I was like, well, I loved half of the movie. I really didn't like the other half of the movie.
Yeah.
2.5. But then the ending is so iconic. I got to bump it up another
half. That made history. You got to give it some credit.
Totally. And it's a very Rod Serling ending, but I love that. So for me, it's a 3 shaker movie. And, you know, I don't know what I would have given it as a kid if I saw it as a kid. And I've seen it now. But
yeah, I have a little bit of a skew because I did.
Yeah, you know.
But I watch it now and I'm just happy for the first part. But I do recognize when I watch it now that it is like there's not a lot happening in the last chunk of it. So I get that, but it, you know.
There's going to be a time when I make you watch The Sandlot, and you know I'm going to have my nostalgia vote there too. I mean, you can't help that. Go ahead.
Well, can I say a few more things just about the series
I'll
real quick
allow
before we wrap it up?
I'll allow that.
In terms of there again are 4 more. I will say my personal feelings on them. They're all B movies. I mean, this one you could even argue it kind of is, but this is a very important movie in the world of sci-fi. So I'm not going to call it a B movie. The other ones are, but I think they're enjoyable. I think the second one's brutal. Again, there's fucking violent shit in it.
Killing horses, I was told.
What's that?
Killing horses, I've heard.
Well, yeah, horses eat shit in the second movie, but also like there's just still shit with guns that I'm like, well, okay, The Matrix got an R rating for that, but anyway, I'll just give my personal thing. Second one, I still think is a great sci-fi movie. Third one is fucking stupid, and I love it, and I think it is such a fun... The third one, Sean... Can I just give a quick rundown?
Real quick.
Have you seen the other ones at all? No, you didn't see this one. Why?
No,
okay.
No.
Second one, I'll just give a quick synopsis. Second one is about further exploration into the Forbidden Zone.
Okay.
And there are fucking weird mutant people.
Oh.
There are people out there that were affected by being out in the Forbidden Zone. So
Uh-oh.
that's what the second one's about. I think it's good. Has one of the funniest endings of all time. And I say funny, it's actually like it's the darkest ending to the point that it actually goes around to you're laughing your ass off.
Okay.
We redid it in a Todd Naron video. I'll just say it is just Earth exploding. And and a narrator tells you an insignificant planet that like meant nothing is gone now.
Yeah.
Credits. And it's just like I was fucking losing it, laughing. But anyway, the third movie is about Sean, the Cornelius and Zira fuck around with Taylor's spaceship.
Oh, they find it.
Hey, let's try to fly it. Let's try to, like, how are they going to launch that? I don't know. They hit the same weird time thing that was in space. It sends them back. They're in fucking 70s, like, New York.
Shut up.
And it is just them, and they become celebrities in New York.
Oh my God.
These two, we've gone ape for these two. When I was a kid, I was like, this is fucking dumb. I watch it when I'm older. It's a fun movie. It's a great movie.
Okay.
It has every bad joke you expect for two apes to be walking around the city, but again, gets into some brutal shit. And I still think it's a great sci-fi movie. Mm-hmm. Fourth one is called Conquest of the Planet of the Apes, and it's about the actual beginnings of the Planet of the Apes, and it's brutal and not fun. And I think there's a kind of good movie there, but it's like not fun. Mm-hmm. The fifth movie, they are out of budget, and it is a war, and it's like people in rubber masks fighting in a field. It is awful and not watchable. So don't watch the fifth one.
Okay.
And they never air it. When they rerun them all, they'll run the first 4.
And they don't.
And they always skip the last one because it's TV poison.
Damn.
The new ones that came out, the reboots.
I saw those. Well, some of those.
I feel like they are fucking joyless, and I don't like them at all. To me, this is a ridiculous concept, and I talked about that balance of camp versus serious, and to me, they're all serious, and I just am like not interested. That's not how other people may approach it. Other people, these are their entry to the series, so it's like, well, no, I think they were kind of badass movies. I'm not speaking for you. I'm not, but I'll just say on my end, this is how I got to know it, is that balance of camp and serious.
Yeah.
They just don't have it. So I'm not interested, but.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
But I like that first one that we saw.
First one was fine.
Was okay.
It was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
It was all right.
All right. My next pick is a movie that I have been told by Rocco to watch a lot. Been told by my wife to watch a lot. And I finally watched it because I went to Universal and I saw a very impressive stunt show. So we are going to watch Waterworld.
Okay.
Starring Kevin Costner. Let's see what all this hype. I mean,
all the hype. Most
people
successful
call
movie
this
ever.
Greatest movie of all time. It's on all the lists of movies you should see before you die. Kevin Costner's best work. I've been told all these things. So let's watch it and find out what really is the deal and why actually Waterworld was the biggest bomb. Like it is a huge failure. So let's find out why.
That's, news to me. But okay.
Maybe it's not a failure. We'll find out.
Oh, wait. I'm going to hype him up.
Yeah.
Sean is going to deliver one of the worst takes you've ever heard in this Waterworld episode. So get ready. Did you stop it?
No.
Because I'm
not.
telling them.
Go ahead.
Get ready. He's already shared an opinion with me, and I already said it on, I think, on Friend to Mention.
You did.
That I hyped it up, and I didn't say what it was.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to deliver one of the worst takes you've ever heard.
According to some.
According to anyone but him. Get ready.
I'm not alone. There's people on my side.
Okay. Out yourself to be banned on Patreon.
Banned? Why? No.
Well, you're going to be with them. You're going to be with them. It's going to be his final. Oh. So to see Sean's final Movie Club episode, Movie Club is just going to be me after next week.
Perfect.
It's just going to be me going, yeah, so I saw Fast X this week.
Thought and I liked it.
Anyway.
Vin Diesel, can't get enough of him. Thanks for watching. We'll see watch Waterworld. Goodbye.